Pivuona.
Niake.
Nyakit. Janet Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Stongo. Skin yacha.
Osio. Gwina.
Sio. Guna. Madawaka.
Kunamante.
Kunamante.
I forget my dog.
Alito. Sio. Unsti Hunterish. Oh.
Good morning. Good morning.
Pivuona. Good morning. Good morning. Coming live from 1950 South Shepherd
Mhm.
here in El Reno, Oklahoma. It's been a while since we've seen you, Darian.
Very long time. Yeah.
How have you been?
Sick. And so it's my return.
Good morning,
Been
little
out
brother
for,
Drew.
what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
A while. And
I beat him back.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know.
had a whole eye surgery and I beat him back.
I don't know. You should have
So
seen the meds my pharmacist gave me. They were just in a great value bag. That was it.
grocery bag.
Yeah, I was like kind of street pharmacist in my deal with right now. But I don't know. It took a while, but now I'm here. A lot better. Not dying. Not bedridden.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You made it back. You
I
made it
know.
back.
I know. Now got to catch up on everything. So it's a good
Well,
time to come back, though.
how was your holiday season?
Good. I mean, like I said, if I wasn't sick, it would have been way better. But Christmas was good. New Year's, I was in bed, but my family they do bingo every New Year's Eve because we go get prizes pretty much on clearance from after Christmas, and then they do a little bingo for everybody at the house. So they got to enjoy that. My kiddo won a bunch of prizes, so she was happy. Yeah, how about yours?
Yeah, bingo would be cool. Bingo brings out the thug and grandma. You know, that's why I like bingo. I can't complain. I mean, I had my surgery on the 16th. Kind of, didn't really get to do the Christmas shopping that I wanted to do. Thank God for Natalie for offering her eyes. You know, but I mean, in all, it's always the time of family.
Yeah.
Of just coming together. Got my granddaughters some birthday present. I mean, Christmas presents. What felt, just that by itself.
Yeah.
Felt real good. I didn't want their moms to worry about if they were going to get something or not. So I tried to help relieve that stress. Because I remember being that parent that was stressed out. It probably wasn't a good time for me. But that was in my selfish way of thinking, and just glad I can enjoy my granddaughters and got to be around my kids, on Christmas Eve. So, it was all right. It was, I can't complain. I can't complain.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, my oldest, she got a Minions fart gun for Christmas. It shoots little rings of smoke that smell bad, and so I was glad I was sick because I didn't have to smell it out. So she'd be just shooting that stuff in my face. But those two love that stuff.
Nyaki Rossi, Stongo David.
You have Miss Harjo.
Oh, Miss Natalie Harjo.
Tell them you have to re-meet everybody.
Yeah, I know, right? I know we went to go visit her mom and her family.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to re-meet all of them because I couldn't see none of their faces.
Do it by voice.
Yeah, I'm just shaking like, okay, like not even knowing where the hell I was at. You know what I mean? Like literally, like, and I can only see with this.
Yep. Anytime his phone rings, I'll turn around. I'll see him, that magnifying glass before he answers.
But that's just the way life's got to be right now. So I'm you know I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just thankful we figured this out because when I went to the eye doctor and the the nurse, I pulled out the magnifying glass and she said, I've been doing this a long time and I've never seen anybody ever do that before.
Little does she know you got like 7
Yeah.
magnifying glasses
And
everywhere.
they're even stronger. I got some even stronger ones. So yeah, I mean, I can see like the comments.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm loving it. Good morning,
Yeah.
Quentin. All right, nephew Quentin.
Like a little inspector over there.
Jen Miller. Good morning. Leslie. Good morning. Good morning.
Larry
People
Tane,
wouldn't know.
your rugged Auntie Corinne.
Larry Tane. Oh,
Oh yeah, they started the Dewey County Wellbriety groups today. So we have men's and women's groups going throughout the jails for all the BIA inmates there, and so it's it's a good collab that we see is helping those people that are incarcerated hopefully get on the right path before anything worse happens.
exposing them to Wellbriety.
Absolutely.
I've been thinking a lot about that. Like, I think it's just like more or less like the exposure to it. You because when I first heard the word Wellbriety, I'm just sitting there thinking like, is that even a word?
Yeah. No, it's not.
I mean, yeah, but then when somebody kind of explained it to me, it kind of made sense. And luckily, I was in a headspace where uh, any kind of recovery, whatever that had to look like, I mean, I was for it. I understood that my way did not work. What I knew about recovery did not exist. And so, luckily, my first sponsor, Mr. Sam Anglin, and then his sponsor was Bernardo out in California, which is a big name in the Wellbriety circle out there in Southern California. So I felt very fortunate, to be exposed by them gentlemen, and it's just been nothing but a healing journey since then. So.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing. I like seeing more and more facilitators coming forward to help us out. Because I mean, our dream is having groups in every community,
Every community.
all walks of life, and so seeing more facilitators come forward or more volunteers just to help out, it's doing like tremendous things for us. And so, our goal is hopefully getting standing groups in jails and then in communities that we haven't touched yet. That way, we can help bring all this healing back to our people that have been just going through trauma over and over. We want to change generational trauma into generational healing,
Definitely.
and so that's what we want to see.
Good morning, Stacy, Leanna, Nene.
Yeah, Stacy said good morning, Inspector. Looking for clues.
I can see your comments though. I can see your comments. I hurt my feelings. Yeah. Mr. Chad Riley, Chad Boy, people what not? Gina. Good morning, Gina.
Mellow.
Carmelo Rebella, little Carmelo. That's little Carmelo. Like everybody's big to me. Good morning, Desiree. Yep, I'm able to see some comments, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Moving on.
Ain't no shame in my game, bro.
I thought we were gonna have to get a bigger TV and just put it right here.
I'm actively taking part. However, whatever it's got to look like, I'm with it, bro. I'm with it.
One of those ones that people use to work on jewelry that clip onto the thing. That way we can
the big
or the one.
My sister Mary Yellowman, she said you can look like Red Fox on Harlem Nights whenever he puts the sunglasses. Good morning, Mr. Isaac Rhodes. People would not, brother. But yeah, see, I can see comments, man. I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm back.
I know. Now we gotta.
Morning, C-Dome.
We're just gonna have just random eye tests all around just to keep you balanced.
Oh, my aunt. All right. She goes by Maggie Alcoy on Facebook. That's cool. All right, Auntie. Yeah, she's the administrative person for the tour for KDAP.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know we need to collab more with them.
Yeah.
I know we have good relationships with them. We need to do something big. I don't know.
Yeah, she's been in recovery for quite a while too. So good morning, Auntie and Karen. Well,
She in witness protection. That way she going by.
no. Aqua. I believe that's our family, one of our family
Mm.
names. So yeah, yeah.
Good
My
crowd
Botone
already.
side. Yeah, that's from my Kiowa side.
Yeah.
My aunt Erin used to say, "I'm Kiowa and I'm real crazy." Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Glad everyone could tune in. Just trying to get back into the swing of this thing.
Yep.
I always look forward to this. I mean, I'll be sitting there watching a movie and I'll hear something that's like, and I never remember what I hear, but I'm just always like, oh, that would be good to,
Just to bring
I'm
up.
gonna steal that.
Yeah. You're probably just hearing Tupac in the background. That's
Yeah.
what Mingo does. Just plays his albums. I'm gonna use that today for the meditation.
Oh, Machiavelli.
Yep. Yeah. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Bubba. Daniel Givens.
Oh, good morning,
Yeah. A lot of stuff's happened
Bubba Avery.
since we've been on this couch together. All right, we got awarded
Mr.
a
Sharp.
little mini grant for post overdose response teams. And so that's like us, working with people that have overdosed but have been brought back through Narcan or through any other means. And so we got a little 6-month grant from the National Association of Community and County Health Officials. And so that'll be a cool little
Man,
project to
that's
work
huge.
on. Yep, absolutely. A little short grant and little bit of money, but it's still something we can put into our communities, and so that's exciting. That's news I got
Yes, for sure.
from my bed whenever I was just sick, and I just get my notifications. But yeah, so that's some exciting stuff.
That's pretty
too.
cool, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the majority of people that I know that have overdosed uh went right back to what
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
doing.
just a bump in the road.
Yeah, it was just I mean, I knew a guy that had overdosed 20 times. I mean, and unfortunately it did end up taking his life.
Mhm.
I mean, but I watched him put up a good fight, and he just didn't have that support that he needed from where he was from. He was from Alabama, and then I met him in California, and we took a picture with a famous UFC fighter, and he was a good guy, man. He was a good guy, and oh man, I can't say enough good things about the type of person that he was. But after I came back to Oklahoma, a few months later, I heard that this thing had got the best of him.
Mhm.
So I love the fact that we're able to put forth some kind of effort.
Yeah,
I mean, this conversation has got to start somewhere.
exactly.
And that just makes me proud to be a part of this group. One more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. I feel like we can ever do enough?
No.
Maybe not. That's a tough thing. That's a tall task.
Mhm.
But I mean, can we start thinking about how we can, put these initiatives to, into the communities where they're mostly needed? A lot of these people feel like nobody cares about them. Nobody wakes up and is just like, I want to be an addict.
Yeah.
Nobody wakes up and is like, I want to be homeless. Nobody wakes up and it was just like, I'm gonna go until I don't have nothing. And that was me. I mean, that was me all the way. I had no idea that the way I was handling my life's problems, it's kind of like an accumulative, uh, you know, uh, like the way things accumulate, like when you're in the negative. You know what I mean? Like it's just the opposite as when you're in the positive.
Mhm.
You know, so I think that just go. I better hush because I might just be sharing a little bit too much about what I was going to say about the reading today.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Got to produce at the same time. Hold on. Oh, losing everything. All right, hold on.
Lost it.
I know it's internet slow this morning. Hold on, give it time. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
All right. So when we're through with this earth and all these problems, we don't have to come back. But as long as we're here, we have a job to do and a purpose to fulfill, and that means dealing with the circumstances around us. Rolling Thunder, Cherokee. We are put on the earth to participate in life. We have a beautiful mind. We have the ability to pray. We have the ability to change. We have the ability to accept, and we have choices. All things God are created. All things God created are constantly changing. This constant change causes our circumstances to change. Sometimes we say life is difficult. During those times, we need to use our tools, the tools of prayer and the tools of meditation. We are designed to change and live joyfully on this earth. The only requirement for living joyfully is to live according to the laws, principles, and values given to us by the Creator. Great Spirit, give me your courage today and guide my footsteps.
Mado. Thanks for reading that, Mr. Chabada.
Anytime.
Because I'd hate to be sitting there like that. Well,
Good eyes now. Good eye.
I got a good eye now. Well, you know what came to mind was, you know, that choices and that acceptance, you know, those principles and the values that I had to reteach myself. You know, like I was saying earlier, I didn't wake up one day and was just like, you know what, I want to be an addict. You know, and I didn't wake up one day and was like, oh man, all this stuff that I have right now, I don't want none of it because being an addict is more important. You know, trying to be in my kids' life, trying to do the right thing by them. You know, when it came crunch time, I didn't say that, you know what, being an addict is more important. What I found myself doing was I used drugs and alcohol as a way to solve my problems. So, you know, what had happened was the effect that it started having in my life. I mean, you just you're trying to run from these problems and you're trying to avoid life, right? Like I wasn't scared of death. That's one thing that I can say about me and most addicts is that we're not afraid to die. Um what I found was I was afraid to live. I was running from life. I came to a point in my life where, you know, it was like either do the right thing or get out of the way, you know. And I just like I didn't have the mental capacity to process a lot of the things that were happening in my life. You know, and I had been a dad for years. You know, I had been a dad for years. I had my own place. I had cars. You know, I had a job. You know, these things that you would consider successful. You know, in that colonized mindset. You know, but what I wasn't accomplishing was my own mental health. You know, I wasn't like growing in the spiritual part of my life. You know, I was lacking very very bad when it came to my spirituality. So, you know, when you know, when it hits the fan and you're left with all the things that you've just been taught through life, all I knew what to do at that point was lie, hustle, you know, manipulate, try to be around the truth. You know, I didn't know how to be honest because I was already lying to myself about my problems. Um, what I found is that fear was overtaking my life. Fear was making me keep running to drugs, kept running to alcohol. I wasn't, there'd be people in the streets trying to hurt me, but the last thing I was going to do was go to a parent teacher conference. You know what I mean? Like, that was the last thing that I was going to do. Like, go face somebody who wouldn't even attempt to understand what I'm going through. Like, somebody sober? Hell no. Like, well, if you let that carefree lifestyle happen, just living just living this life that there was just no care in the world. I didn't know that I was just running from responsibility. I thought that I was just avoiding the things that were just like, they want to talk about the elephant in the room. My family didn't know how to approach me. Nobody knew how to relate to what I was going through, because nobody had gotten down into the depths of their addiction like I had in my family. Well, me and my brother Brandon, you know, uh, we can relate to it, on a lot of things. But I mean, other than that, other than my little brother Drew trying to be just like me, you know, um, I found myself lonely. I found myself, people were always there trying to help me, but I didn't understand that I couldn't help myself. I kept, the only thing I knew was to keep turning to drugs and alcohol. Well, then, it just accumulates all this negativity. All this, it just kept building and building and building until it got too heavy. It got too heavy for me to carry. I didn't I didn't have no other choice. I'm thinking that the only way out is through death. Suicide, or maybe I'll get lucky and get into a car wreck. Maybe, I mean, maybe somebody will kill me. That's exactly how I was thinking. And I remember just feeling like, you know, uh saying a prayer and asking God to either take my life, or give me another chance. And if he gives me another chance, then I'm gonna try my best, and I'm gonna do right by. Whatever it's got to look like. So what had happened was I turned my fear into faith. I found these principles that all these other alcoholics and addicts were living by, and I seen them be happy. I seen them, people trusted them. I watched their lives, start to grow in places that nobody ever gave them a chance, and nobody else was doing it for them. They were doing it for themselves. Then the more and more you're around these type of people, the more and more you hear them talk about the principles of AA, the principles of Wellbriety. It don't matter what 12-step program you get in, the principles always stay the same, and you learn these values about learning how to do the right thing when nobody's looking. That, to me, that's been like one of the keys to the success of me being able to stay sober, is I had to reteach myself how to do the right thing when nobody was looking. Well, in the meantime, it has such a positive effect on my life that my kids started wanting to be around me. Family that I haven't heard from in years starts reaching out to me and wants me to be around. You know, I get involved in my AA. You know, shout out to the 506 here in El Reno. I, you know, I found different ways to stay involved with my recovery community, and I would say the positive effect that we're able to have on people, each person that we meet, each person that that needs help. I mean, it's put me in a place where I found that courage, I found that guidance, and all these things. I figured out that all these things that I wanted from the Creator, it wasn't just gonna fall in my lap. If I wanted to learn about patience, He's gonna put me in this situation where I have no choice but to wait. Like with this whole eye thing,
Mhm.
this is completely out of my hands. I put it all in the Creator's hands, and I have full faith that He is going to heal me. I have full faith that I will be back to where I was, maybe even better. But regardless, I mean, the things that I was looking for, the things that I couldn't help myself with, I gave it to the Creator, and He's taken my life to a place where I never even imagined. Like, who would imagine I'd be sitting here talking about, what we're,
Patience.
yeah, like who would have in 1,000 years would have ever thought like that I would get this opportunity to share what it was like, for me to go through my process. And in the meantime, I understand that these things didn't happen to me, they happened for me so that I could share them with other people and other people can understand that we're not alone. I'm not the only one that faced these trials and tribulations in my life and overcame them. What I want to see is the next person coming up behind me do the same exact thing, and go past anything that any goal that I've ever had for myself. I want to see everybody. Everybody deserves to be happy. That's what I understand about this thing. And another thing I understand is that love always wins. No matter what, love always wins. And when you learn to love yourself, I mean, then you're able to give that type of feeling away, because I didn't love and respect myself before. Now that I'm sober, I completely understand what it took for me to get here. And I just feel lucky. I just feel lucky I get this opportunity. So I'm gonna shut up with
Yeah,
that.
that was the
I'm gonna
morning
shut
meditation. All right, see you guys later.
up with that.
All right, we got good morning, Toya. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, my auntie Dina. Jeremy. Good morning, Vincent. On YouTube, he said he loves that how the YouTube algorithms brought me here. And then Toya, let me highlight your comment. Uh, life does get real lifey. Jake said, not what had happened was. Our
Brother
queen is
Jake.
our queen is visiting, Miss Naranjo.
Oh,
And Jean, Pamela.
good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, everybody.
Good morning, Toya. Tell Blakely I said good morning. I love her, and I hope she has a good day today. Been praying a lot for her, and I'll continue to pray for her. Hopefully, I get to see her soon. Hopefully, hope everybody's staying warm. You know, was you gonna comment?
Yeah, I can. I can say a little
Uh-huh.
thing. I don't think I have a Tupac quote though, but yeah, this I think speaks to me more about how the creator's there even when you don't know he's there, right? So all my life, like I said, I've been born and raised around addiction, but now I'm more revolved around recovery in my family. So I lived 16 years of my life being a kid of somebody with substance use disorder, and I would always see what drugs and alcohol did to my family, like all the generations before me. But I also saw the positive side. So I saw what recovery did for the older generation of my family. So we have, it's almost like phases that my family's gone through. Like, they tear it and then they get, into their recovery lifestyle, and then they kind of watch over the rest of the family. And I've seen that throughout my life. So all these values of the 12 steps and everything have been instilled in me since I was a little kid. I remember going to meetings as a kid, just chilling, sitting there, listening to everybody share. And I think that is what gave me such a strong um, sense of purpose and sense of, you know, that addiction doesn't have to start with me, right? It could end with me. It could be, something that I would be able to say no to before um, I would get hooked. Because everybody that I talked to in my family, they would always say they always thought they could just have one drink, and then it just spiraled from there. And so I heard that throughout my young ages, like since I was 5, I can remember this stuff going to all of the elders in my family at the time, and that's what the stuff they would mention is that they thought that they could only have one drink. So I already had this preconceived notion that I knew I was an addict before even trying anything. And so I kind of took a stance against that. And it was, drugs and alcohol was readily available. Like in middle school, I knew how to get weed and pills, but I would just, steer clear away from that because I knew the route that it would take me on, because I didn't want to go through what, my mom went through, my grandma, my grandpa, aunts and uncles, all that. And I was just lucky to have the creator in my life through that. Even though at the time I didn't think it was him, but now, I realized that it was him working through very, specific paths to just keep me on the right track. And now I knew my sense of purpose was to help people feel recovery, because I knew what that felt like once I turned 16 and I saw my mom go through the steps and stuck with the steps that time. And so it was so healing that I knew that I wanted to do something revolving around uh, drugs and alcohol. At first I thought my life path was to work, at the DEA, which I did get an internship, worked with them for a year and hated it. And I was like, this isn't healing at all. Like, this is just, deterring the problem, and it's still going to be there. And now seeing on the opposite end, the recovery side, I think this is the most fulfilling
Definitely.
job anybody can have. Like,
Definitely.
seeing the amount of mending relationships and healing, not just for the individual but for the families. So since that's where I come from, is I see the family aspect of coming back and reuniting. Because yeah, in my childhood there's a lot of lonely times where I would be just at home for like 4 or 5 days, like no idea where my mom was or my stepdad at the time. And so I didn't want that to happen to anybody else. But seeing the power of community, I don't know who's calling me. Oh, it's Josh De Bartolo, so I'll call you back. um, but seeing the power of community coming together to heal kids, adults, anybody from all walks of life, and empowering them to fix those relationships, to make them even better than they were before. Like I always talk about how a lot of my life I felt like I just had a roommate instead of a parent. And
Yeah.
now I have a mother, I have, a grandmother to my kids. And so we have 4 generations of sober natives in my family now
Wow.
that are living, and that's huge. Like it's a big step. And then there's always that kind of constant worry about the next generation, right? Because they didn't see what I saw when we were growing up. And
Yeah.
so there is always that kind of fear that they might not understand the power that drugs and alcohol has over our people. But I do know that I find comfort in knowing that we already have the solution. So if they do end up going down that road, we do know that we're here for them, the programs are there for them. Variety's there, 12 steps, everything. And we know that no matter what circumstances they're in, it'll always come back. They'll always come back to their people, and they'll always be well. And so that's what I got out of that is, you know, life gets lifey, but
Yeah.
Creator's always there, no matter how you view it, what you call them, or anything. There's always, a guiding light. It may not be like a giant sign. It may just be,
Yeah.
just like just a little nudge in the
Yeah,
right
because
direction.
like they say, hindsight's always
Yep.
2020, right?
Absolutely.
Hindsight is always 2020. I can always remember all these instances where God showed up, but I thought, that was my problem is I like to play God.
hmm
That had to be one of my biggest problems is I like to play God. And so being able to sit down, get out of his way and allow him to do his work, that in itself was a spiritual awakening that I never knew existed. Is sitting down, talking to the creator and allowing him to do his work.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I never I never gave him the chance. So being able to know that today, it's definitely has had a positive accumulative effect on my life.
Yep. Yep.
So good morning, Erica. Good morning, Boris Hall, brother-in-law. Tell my sister Carissa I said good morning. And who else? Jake, you need to come up and check out the
I
culture
know. Yeah, you need to
couch.
have a whole episode. Start singing on here. Find
Yeah.
you somebody to 13th step with.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, like, yeah, hindsight is 2020. Like, did I tell you all like the weird steps that happened for me to
Morning,
like
Dina.
work at Tor? It was just bizarre. Like I was supposed to work in Georgia once I came back from a deployment, and so I was just in this waiting period for them to do background, and so I was just trying to pass time, and so I was like, oh, I'll volunteer, like give out food boxes or something, and then I reached out to Winona, and she's like, nah, but we can like hire you, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I ended up working there for a few months. Then, Jerica says she doesn't want to move. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'll work security or something. I don't know. And then while I'm working at food distribution, like I hear Winona and Eddie talk about some opioid grant or something. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And then Winona's like, all right, put your app in for, food pantry so you could be full time or something. And I was like, okay. And then she she realized I had all these degrees and all this experience, and she's like, "Why are you stocking shelves right now?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, I'm just hanging out, like I'm just vibing." And then
Just by
yeah, and I was like, I did overhear that you were talking about some opioid program though, so I was like, could I apply for that? I'll be like prevention. And then once she realized like what I had, uh,
Good morning,
she
little
was
eagle.
like, "Hey, I want you to be director," and that's just how this fell in my lap. And then how Tor fell in her lap was even crazier. Is the tribe just had this Tor grant that was just sitting there for like 2 years because the person that applied for it just left, and then the tribe was awarded it, and for some reason nobody touched the grant. And then Winona found out about it and had to write for the grant again to keep the money. And so she did like 24 hours of doing this thing, and then it got approved. And yeah, so even just Tor lining up for us to come
Yeah,
along
for sure.
is crazy. And then we were only supposed to be here for 6-7 months, and then we were able to write for another tour, got the other tour, and then now we have Tour 3. So
Yeah.
we're on for 5 more
5 more
years. And
years.
so it's just all, hindsight being 2020, just
Yeah.
how stuff just the stars
Creative.
aligned. Yeah. And
Creative.
now we're able to help as many people as we can. And so even if it's just ranting on a couch,
Yeah.
but this is what we're just gonna do the whole day, just hang out.
Definitely.
But yeah, all right. You want to get into announcements? We've already been on 40 minutes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into these announcements.
All right.
Oh, me and Domingo were on here for like an hour and 15 minutes. Like we were on here
you
for
had a lot
while.
to say. You hadn't been on forever.
Yeah, I hadn't been on
Yeah.
forever, so yeah, it was my welcome back.
Yeah. I know. Did Mingo say anything that whole time?
He said, "I get around."
Yeah. All right. Talkspace. So if you haven't heard, Talkspace is our telehealth counseling services that we offer for anybody and everybody, pretty much that's ages 13 and up. To sign up, you go to www.talkspace.com/CHATOR, or you can scan the QR code. Whenever you're filling up your information, it'll ask for an organization or an EAP code, and you will put restore, and that is what gets you counseling for free. You can message your counselor 24/7. You can video chat with them twice a month, and it is compliant with court requirements. Good morning to my mom.
Good morning, Miss Thomas.
My aunt wants more res covery gear. We need to we need to get Carmela to work on more shirts.
Good morning, Aunt Jessie.
And then to stay up to date on our activities, text TOR to 888-580-4TOR. That's
Photo.
Yep, 888-580-4867.
Photo.
It has updates on our talking circles, on our events, on the Gourd Clan events, anything like that. And so here we are next. Well, variety groups.
Here on Monday nights tonight, here in 1950 South Shepherd in El Reno, Oklahoma, we have Mending Mondays, which is a Mending Broken Hearts White Bison talking circle. It is a group that's probably helped me the most deal with grief. It had been said earlier. That's what I forgot to tell you about, but I'll tell you about it later. I guess somebody came and grabbed a Mending Broken Hearts facilitator handbook.
That's great.
And
and jetted off.
Yeah, and took it home. We're not trying to knock. She's all for recovery. She's like trying to figure out ways to keep herself busy. And I think we had already given her all the books that we have. And I think it was while David was here, he gave her, he just let her take it because she asked if she could have it. He let her take it. And, I guess I don't know how the word got out, but, this other lady was trying to reach out and say, like, we need therapists on site and we need this and we need like making it sound like we're just digging up all this trauma and there's no way for us.
Yeah, there's no support.
No, that's not how. We offer a White Bison talking circle that has to do with grief, and Mr. Levi takes you through the steps. And of course, it's a like if it's something that is that traumatic, you know, uh, to me, it's a healthy way of going about it. So, I mean, I thought that was very important that we nipped that right in the bud from the get go. I probably need to reach out to the sister and let her know like what we're offering here. But that's on tonight here at 7 o'clock. Come to the back door. Don't park in the front no more of the building. We're not allowing people to walk through there anymore. We had a couple incidents. We're trying to keep the talking circle, for everybody. So come park in the back and go through the back door. And then on Tuesday nights at 721 Frisco Avenue in Clinton at the public library at 7 o'clock, they have a talking circle with Miss Mackenzie Wache. And then on Thursday nights here at 1950 South Shepherd in El Reno at 7 o'clock, we open the doors about 6:30. Come park in the back at the back door, and we will, we'll be here on Thursday nights. And then while that's happening, uh, we're going to be having a talking circle for our youth. It's called Empowering Our Youth with Miss Tatum Escott. She'll be leading a talking circle with the kids. We ask that if you bring your kids, There's going to be a waiver that we
Yeah, a
ask
little
you.
permission slip.
Yeah, permission slip. Because there's probably going to be some touchy subjects in there, but I mean, we feel like it would benefit the kids to give them their own space and their own talking circle. Because like Darian being a kid of an addict, me being the kid of an addict, I mean, I think it's a great ideal. So shout out to Tatum Escott
Yeah.
for
Yeah, and she does a lot of different things. So I think last week or the week before they did painting, and so she tries to come up with good activities to keep it fresh and interactive
yeah,
and stuff. And so I think that's a good route. And so we do have more painting supplies if they ever want to bring painting back, or any other kind of activities that'll help with the healing or with
yeah,
expression, because it is hard to express your feelings at that age,
yeah,
uh,
definitely
especially in the right words. It's
for
always,
sure.
you never know how to put it in words.
Yeah. All right, and then on Thursday nights in Weatherford, what is that?
810 East
810
Cedar.
East Cedar Avenue in Weatherford, Oklahoma, at 7 o'clock at the Oxford House. They offer a talking circle over there as well with Mackenzie Wache. Shout out to her. I mean, she's doing great things for us out there. And that'll be at 7 o'clock every Thursday in Weatherford. And then on Friday nights here at 1950 South Shepherd, here in at the office here in El Reno, at 7 o'clock, they offer a 12-step meeting where gets a little bit more in depth into the Wellbriety book and a little bit more action where you put pen to paper, which is very important when you're coming into recovery. So
Mhm.
that's all of our time. Like I said, if you text the 888-580-4TOR, that will give you all our times, dates, and locations.
Yeah, the
Whatever
text
we,
usually
yeah,
comes out that day around 5 o'clock, for whatever groups are going on. And then if we have any other events, you'll get sporadic texts. Um, One of our next events that we're going to be doing is hand drum making at the Ceiling ERC. This will be at the same time as Pathways to Community Living. They're doing a Elders Traditional Night. So we decided to just hop on and add in hand drums. And so we'll be able to make 20 with whoever wants to come out to the community. There will be a meal provided by Pathways. And so if you're in Ceiling, come out that way. And then this will pretty much be the start of our
yeah,
hand drum making tour, pretty much.
for the smaller community.
Yeah, for the smaller communities, and then however many we have left over, we'll hit the larger ones. But this is all paid for pretty much by IHS. We have a good relationship with our behavioral health department,
Yes.
and so we asked if we can do some community stuff, and they approved it. And so now we get to go around and do cool, fun stuff like
Yes.
this. And so,
Culture is the solution.
yep, we hope to see you there. And then our All Nations Res Recovery Gourd Clan turns 1 year old. January 25th, we will have a dance at the Concho ERC. We are trying to get respect. We're waiting on them to reply back. Because if we could get respect, then that'll be way more comfortable. Because when we were at Concho, it was
packed
in there, packed. Almost had to tell people just stand, don't sit down,
Yeah.
because it was a good dance. And so we hope to kind of replicate that. Mingo also says if we go to respect, more people will show up because it's closer. And we're like, yeah, that half mile really deters a lot of people.
Yeah, that 2 blocks is killing people.
Yep. And so we'll have a men's chicken contest, and that will be the prize. I think will be a TV. I think it'll be 55-inch. Can't remember what TV we have. And then we'll also have a team dance contest for a cash prize. And then we'll have our raffles as usual. We're going to try to get a couple cakes, some that are sugar free, so that way, we can eat.
Oh yeah,
We'll have
so I can eat.
yeah. We'll have you blow out the candles, sneeze on it, and then
Be the wrong way.
yeah, blowing out somebody's cigarette.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope to see you guys there. It'll be a good time, that's for sure. A lot of healing has happened the past year just from this Gourd Clan. It's taken off way more than we thought it would.
For sure.
And so yeah, we hope to see you guys there. And that's all the announcements we got. It's a little light on the announcements. dance class January 15th at the Concho ERC. Sewing
Yes.
101 and dance routines.
Yeah, if you want to get you or anybody wants to get involved in the powwow circle. I mean, it's a great introduction. They have a lot of people that participate that's been doing it for a long time. Corinne, grew up doing it. All her kids grew up doing it. So I think it's a great idea that she good thing Crazy Horse closed down because I think once that closed down, then she picked it back up. I'm just kidding. But it's a great idea for people to get involved, and I think that's what's important. Is just finding that first step. It's always taking that first step. Just like in recovery or anything. It's finding that support and taking that first step. So shout out to my rugged auntie Corinne.
But yeah, got anything else?
No, I'm just trying to
read.
Just trying to read.
Oh yeah, we are co-hosting 2 dances this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah, the 11th. I gotta take my shirt to the cleaners. But yeah, so we will be co-hosting the outgoing royalty powwow for the youth. I can't even say it. We'll be in Clinton and we'll be in Concho. So come and dance with us. We're splitting our team up. That way we can, try to promote some healing into communities at the same time. But yeah, it's the outgoing youth powwow royalty dance in Clinton, and then the birthday dance for Wilma Redbird in Concho. And so we hope to see you guys at either one. Yeah. And then
diet cake. Yes, diet cake.
Diet cake. We're gonna have just one cupcake for you every day.
But we appreciate everybody that tunes in. Very appreciative, very grateful that we get the opportunity, and just creating this positive place where we can have all these positive feedback.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great. I look forward to this every day. So I appreciate all the support we get, and like I always say, tell your mammy about us, like, share, follow. We're just trying to get the word out.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Unless we get bored and we might do another one. Who knows?
I hope.